Denny Hamlin is able to stretch it just enough to claim his third win of the season at Michigan. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin NASCAR. I'm your host, Andrew. Post Michigan review. I just got finished done watching the Firekeepers Casino 400 from Michigan International Raceway in the Irish Hills. Good race overall, and I thought the coverage from Amazon Prime was solid as usual. And overall, the festivities around Michigan looked very good. It was a full house in the grandstand, and the weather was beautiful. Overall, I don't think they could have planned a better weekend for this race, but we got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. But let's start with the finish. Denny Hamlin picks up his third win of the season through all the drama and things going on in his life with managing 2311 Racing and the lawsuit going on, with his wife still on baby watch even to this weekend. And with all the off-the-track stuff and all the personal stuff, Denny Hamlin is able to lock in and pick up his third win of the season, stretching the field and able to outlast William Byron and Carson Hocevar. And I want to touch on both of those real quick. William Byron had such a good race going. He was probably the best car, I would say. Maybe not the best long-run car, which definitely belonged to Hamlin. And then Carson Hocevar had just a lot of speed late in the race, was looking like he would pick up his first career win at his home state before he had a tire blowout at the end, or around lap 182, I believe. So tough break for those two, but Denny Hamlin does end up scooping up the victory. Great race overall from Hamlin. He was mostly inside the top 10 for all of the race. He was very consistent, very smooth, didn't make any mistakes. It was a great race overall for Denny Hamlin. And overall, the end of this race was determined by fuel mileage. We saw Michael McDowell pit from 18th on lap 193 because he was out of fuel. He pitted and short pitted everyone else, took 2 tires, just didn't get the car full of fuel. Carson Hocevar looked like he was going to be short before he had that tire go down. William Byron had to pit because he was out of fuel. And Hamlin was able to save enough and was able to outlast everyone in the field. It was a really good race, and I was not expecting it to turn into a fuel mileage race. I was expecting more tight battles and more full throttle at the end, but it was definitely very interesting in that Todd Gilliland caution late in stage 3 was humongous for how this race ended up turning out. But let's go ahead and just cycle through all the top finishers, or all the finishers I should say. Alex Bowman finishes in 36th, wasn't having particularly a great race going, fell behind early, and eventually got caught up in a humongous wreck and a humongous impact in the outside wall. All of the back tires were lifted off the ground, caused oil to be leaked on the track. So it was a humongous crash. Glad to see Alex Bowman climb out of the car, and he was okay. And I know he's had a lot of injuries in the past with his back. And it looks like from that, it looks like it was all good signs. So Alex Bowman, though, is dangling on the playoff cut line. Right now, he is going to be 15th in the standings, and he is 13 points above the cut line. And Ryan Preece and Kyle Busch are tied for the final spot. So Bowman is right on that cut line with that DNF. So the playoff cut line has to be watched. And Bowman is a good road course racer, and heading to Mexico City, it's a newer track for him. So I'm a little apprehensive to give Bowman the benefit of the doubt that he will make the playoffs. And looking at everybody else and continuing on with the top finishers, Cole Custer ends up 35th, also caught up in that wreck. John Hunter Nemechek spun 2 different times. One time he hit the wall off turn 2 and spun down the back straightaway, and then the turn 3 got loose on the bottom and overall did not finish the race. Todd Gilliland, as I just mentioned, was having a pretty solid day. Got up the field a little bit more due to a pit call, and he ended up wrecking with a flat left rear tire off of turn 2. Humongous impact as well for Todd Gilliland. Glad to see he was okay as well. Ryan Blaney spun off of turn 4 onto pit road. Another left rear tire went down. He's had tire issues all night. Wasn't having a great race going. All of Penske looked a little off, and he needed pit strategy to get up towards the front. So clearly he was not on top of his game. Same with Austin Cindric. He finished up towards the top of the field in stage 2, but that was only because, again, of pit strategy. Though he was able to hold on to second place and get some stage points, which he desperately needs heading into the playoffs. Mike McDowell finishes 30th, had to pit again because he ran out of fuel from 18th. And Carson Hocevar, his teammate, flat tire late in the race. William Byron ran out of fuel. He finishes 28th. Noah Gragson, not really a big factor in today's race, finishes 27th. Cody Ware finishes P26. Riley Herbst finishes in P25. Ty Dillon was having a pretty solid race for that calling team, was running up inside the top 20. Got into it a little bit with Kyle Larson, and Larson was not very happy with Ty Dillon on the radio. Ty Dillon was not very happy with Kyle Larson for pushing him into the wall. So that happened. He finishes in P24. Chase Briscoe, the pole sitter, his third straight pole in the current area of the season, finishes P23. Really did not have the same pace as Joe Gibbs Racing teammates had. Joey Logano, again, Penske was all kind of off today, except for Josh Berry, who looked like he had some solid speed today, finishes P22. Justin Haley finishes P21. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finishes P20. Was running up inside the top 15 for a good portion of the day. Overall, kind of fell off a little bit. The pit cycle strategy really flipped the field early in the race, and we see that a lot of these guys finish towards the bottom of the grid, like Dillon, Briscoe, Logano, Haley, and Stenhouse, and Dillon, who finishes in P19, all were up at the front early in stage 2 due to a early caution, which allowed them to stay out and flip the field a little bit. Shane Van Gisbergen finishes in P18, so a very good finish for Shane Van Gisbergen. We are seeing him slowly improve at the ovals, and I know he started out really rough this season, but so far has been a lot better compared to earlier in the season. So I like what I see from Shane Van Gisbergen. We're heading to Mexico City, and it's a road course, so I'm expecting Shane Van Gisbergen to be contending for a win, along with AJ Allmendinger, who finished in P17. Good race for AJ and that calling team. He's been a lot better than I thought and a lot of other people thought this whole year. Overall, calling has been a lot better than everyone thought. Christopher Bell finishes P16. Again, really did not have the same pace that Denny Hamlin or Ty Gibbs had, who all finished up inside the top 5. Overall, though, he did get up towards the front of the field again due to pit strategy and being able to stay out. Same with Chase Elliott. It looked like Chase Elliott did have some little bit of speed, but again, once he got in that clean air, it looked like he had more speed, but once he got set behind due to staying out a little bit longer, he got penalized on a pit stop and overall wasn't able to recover. Finishes P15. I am a little bit worried about Chase Elliott, and heading to a road course in Mexico City, this is a big opportunity for him to lead some laps and maybe get a win. So watch out for Chase Elliott next week at Mexico City. Daniel Suarez finishes P14. Good race for Daniel Suarez. Again, Trackhouse has been able to grind out these finishes, and I'm very happy to see this from Daniel Suarez. He's been a little bit more consistent in recent weeks. He is still well outside the playoffs right now. He is currently P28, 68 points back. And again, I want to point a little bit something out here. It's a little bit off topic, but everyone from 17th to 28th, where Daniel Suarez is very competitive. And the next guy in the playoffs, Justin Haley, who's 29th, is 88 points back. So really that whole, I would say, like 11 different cars is very, very good. And not to mention guys like Brad Keselowski, Noah Gragson, who all have speed in them. It's just they've gotten a little bit unlucky today or in the past couple of weeks. So overall, like everyone in the mid-tier or mid-pack of a race, you would say, has gotten a lot more competitive and it's gotten a lot closer. And I was talking about it last week, like Todd Gilliland, I thought was having a really bad season, but he's like only, 5 points out of 23rd, which is a really good spot for that front row team, which has not been very good historically. So a little bit off topic there, I know, but I just wanted to talk about that a little bit here. Tyler Reddick finishes P13, had a bad pit stop late and was not able to recover. Overall, a pretty solid race from Tyler Reddick. He was able to run up front a little bit. Josh Berry finishes P12. Again, he was like the only Penske car, quote unquote, because the Wood brothers operate out of the Penske shop to have a really good race. He was running up inside the top 10, started P7, so good race for Josh Berry. And Eric Jones finishes P11. He, again, grinded out a good finish. All of Legacy Motor, specifically Eric Jones in Legacy Motor Club, has made significant improvements compared to last year. Yes, John Hunter Nemechek has made improvements, but he hasn't been as consistent as Eric Jones has been. And I'm liking what I see from Eric Jones. Next year, I think we could see Legacy Motor Club be competing for a playoff spot. And again, the mid pack has gotten so competitive, so there's going to be a lot of different guys making it in and out of the playoffs. So watch out for the 43, especially going into next year. In P10 and P9, we have two RFK cars. We have Brad Keselowski in the 6 car, finishes P10. Good race from him overall. Again, was able to get up front due to pit strategy and didn't really look back. He held that track position. Was back in P17 at one point and struggling to make time, but eventually just grinded out that finish. Good result from Brad Keselowski. He does need to win his way in to make the playoffs. So Brad, he does need to win. So I'm pointing at one of the super speedway races coming up. But Brad is still a very solid driver, and we've just seen RFK kind of fall off compared to last year. So keep an eye out for Brad Keselowski coming up. Ryan Preece finishes P9. Good race from Ryan Preece overall. Started P23. Again, just grinded out another finish. Again, got up to the front due to pit strategy. Kyle Busch started on the front row in P2, finishes P8. A really good race. He is on that playoff cut line, and if I'm looking at it, he is currently tied for that last spot in with Ryan Preece. The only reason Ryan Preece gets in is because he does have that one playoff point, and Kyle Busch does not. So Kyle Busch, next week at Mexico City, not really feeling it. I mean, we do have Atlanta coming up at the Echo Park Speedway on June 28th, and that is during the in-season tournament. So we could see Kyle Busch win there. Sonoma, I think Kyle Busch has been good at consistently. Indianapolis Motor Speedway is another race I'm looking at him to win. And then, of course, Daytona, the season finale, is another race I'm circling for Kyle Busch and that Richard Childress racing team. Zane Smith finishes P7 after starting P10. He ended up getting up to the front due to taking 2 tires and was able to stretch that field. A really good result from Zane Smith. But apart from him and the RFK team, really the only Ford and Chris Buescher, I guess. I forgot Chris Buescher. Sorry, Chris Buescher. Zane Smith had a really good race, though. It was very, very solid day from Zane Smith. Ross Chastain, quiet day from him, but overall, again, grinded out that finish. Finishes P6. He was running up inside the top 15, top 10 most of the day. Kyle Larson started out back a little bit, able again to grind out a finish, and I apologize. He did not start out back. He started P5. Fell back a little bit early, but was able to grind out that finish and finish P5. Bubba Wallace finishes in P4. Good result for Bubba Wallace. Ty Gibbs, there we go. That's a good finish for him. Again, Ty Gibbs does need to win his way into the playoffs, but a P3 finish does help, and it's a very encouraging sign that he is able to run up front. And Chris Buescher, he won back in 2023. It was a good result from him, running up inside the top 15 all day. It was a very good result for Chris Buescher, and all of our RFK was very solid today. And then Denny Hamlin finishes in P1 with 51 points, so a very good points day for Denny Hamlin. He now ties both William Byron and Christopher Bell for the most wins in the series. And I apologize there once again. William Byron does not have 3 wins. Well, he does. William Byron has, Kyle Larson has 3 wins, and Christopher Bell has 3, and so does Denny Hamlin. Sorry, guys, I'm just all over the place with this episode. Still wrapping my head around this whole finish, but good day for Denny Hamlin. Good day for a lot of drivers like Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski. Really good days from a lot of these guys. So very interesting order, and it looked like track position was the name of the game. So, and the way you got that was pit stops and a little bit of pit strategy, which I like. I do like a little bit of pit strategy. I do like that you had to get a little bit smart on the pit box for that. I do not like, though, that it was so hard to pass today. And that's the thing about the next gen car. Very hard to pass. A lot of aero blocking. We saw that a lot today. William Byron late, taking the line away from Denny Hamlin, taking away that downforce. That's the one thing I do not like about this type of racing. And I know NASCAR loves to have the side-by-side on TV. It looks good, but it's not really good racing. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But right now, it was a good race. It was a good race overall. The draft was very important today. Big momentums and runs. Looked like a Truck Series race. Looked like a Truck Series race. And I guess that's why Todd Gilliland and Zane Smith, all Truck Series winners, ran pretty well today. So there you go. And now it is time to rate this race on a scale of 1% to 100%. And honestly, I would say I would give this race a 65%. The racing was solid. The restarts were chaotic. The restarts were very chaotic. And that's been the thing about the racing with the next gen car. You got to get a lot on the restarts. You got to take. And because you're not going to be able to race side by side, it's very hard to pass. But I did like the runs. The runs were kind of cool to see. It looked like it's kind of the racing we need at like a Daytona or Talladega. You need to get those runs off the corner, and it was cool to see. It was cool to see. It was kind of the plate racing we didn't see, just without the bump drafting. I guess that's one difference from Michigan to Daytona. Overall, though, very solid race. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin. Congratulations to Tyler Reddick on their newborn babies, by the way. I forgot to mention that. But 65%, that's what I'm going to rate this race out of 100. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. What would you rate this race? Do you think Denny Hamlin is the most hated driver in NASCAR? Because I heard a lot of boos from the crowd in the post race interview with Kim Kuhn. Amazon Prime once again is continuing to be very good with broadcasting, a lot better than Fox, I would say. TNT does have some pretty big shoes to fill when they get their turn to take over the broadcasting, and same with NBC, because I'm not sure how much they'll be able to match Amazon Prime's the standard they have set. Next week, Mexico City, first time I will see a NASCAR race out of the United States on TV, because I've never really watched some. I know they've raced there before, but it'll be the first time I watch it live. So that's all for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's race at Michigan International Raceway in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Tomorrow we will talk about Ram re-entering the Truck Series and all the statements that were made today in the press release. We'll talk about Dodge when they may enter the sport. We'll also talk about maybe a new segment that I may be adding to this channel. So overall, though, very excited to see that we get to continue growing on this channel. Big news, though. We are now on Apple Podcast. If you do not want to listen solely on Spotify and you do prefer Apple Podcast more, this show is on Apple Podcasts. So go check it out there. And as well, go check out Talking Sports. I should have a link to it in the description that you can check it out. Me and Miles just posted a new episode. Talking Sports also should be on Apple Podcasts as well. I am still working on getting the whole YouTube thing set up. It takes a little bit of time. It takes about a day or two. It is not instant setup, so it's taking a little bit longer than it would for Apple Podcast. But that's all for me, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments about this race, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.